morning. Good morning, Bodida. It's Babi Active. It's nearly 10:30. And over here, Natasha. My name's Natasha, and I'm going to deliver a short session today. It's Mental Health Awareness Week here in the UK, and we're still in lockdown in Wales. So you've probably seen it on social media. There's lots of tools, some great ideas, some mindfulness practices, etc. So with that in mind, I'm going to do a little bit more of a stretchier session today, and then I'm going to talk a little bit at the end today about stress eating. So a small amount of chat at the end. We're going to start today on the floor on some stretches straight away, and then my intention is to take you through some of the exercises we've been working for previously with our Pilates work, and then come back down to the floor to finish and repeat what we did in the beginning. So welcome to today's session. If you're watching it on replay, we would love to have your engagement here on Facebook, on the Babi Active page. So please do just comment an emoji or send a little tick emoji, let us know that you've done the workout. And today all you need to do is join in with a clear, safe space. Of course, make sure that you're 100% fit and well before starting off. This is designed for 6 weeks to 6 months, but anybody can of course join in, and it assumes that you are fully recovered along your or a long way towards completely healing your diastasis recti, your natural gap, and treat you very much as if very gently in the exercises, as if in some parts that you were still pregnant. Your body has just recovered from the birth and been on the way to recovering from the birth, of course, depending on which stage you meet me here today. So I don't have shoes on, I've got barefoot today. I'm on the top of a house, so it can be ventilated quite well. If you're outdoors, just make sure again it's safe, and you feel 100% fit and well to attend today. If you've got any queries about that, of course, just come back to us. Personal message me, message here, message the page. We are open here to support you during lockdown and beyond. I'm going to open the window. I think you can see and hear me clearly, so I think I'm just going to go. Put a little bit of music on. I've got some tissues handy. So make sure you've got what you need. Cushions are good today. Cushions is really all you need. We're not going to use the band today. I've got some mat spaces, so make baby comfortable. You can sing and count and breathe and hum along with baby if that feels good. And I think we're just ready to go. So my cushions are scattered. I've got a couple of different types of cushions. I've got some firm ones and some quite lighter ones. So maybe a couple of different ones that you might like. Therefore, resting your head on, sitting on, holding across your chest. That's really what they're for. I've got a drink ready. I've got some music ready. And I think we're ready to go. So I'll pop on the music for you. This is the music into background music. You may hear traffic coming from outside as well. It's mein brav heddiw, beautiful day today here. So if you're taking this session outside, you might need your sunglasses as well. I've also posted on our Babi Active support group on the closed page some exercises that you can do whilst you're on your walks today. So a lunge, walk, push with the buggy, which is what we do in our buggy fitness classes. So I'm going to demonstrate that in this session as well. So let's start. Let's just bring ourselves down to the floor. So just make a way down to the floor. I encourage you to take a lunge or to squat, come down, and just meet me here straight away in a child's pose. So if you're not sure what that looks like, you can build yourself a station here, and imagining that you're still pregnant at this stage. So a good way to do that is to put your heels together, click your heels together, and then sit back onto your heels. So you're going to come down and you're going to rest straight away today. Another theme of kindness, Mental Health Week this year. So we're working on kindness to ourselves, kindness to others, of course. If you're kind to yourself, you're more skilled at being kind to others. So here, just practice with your bottom in the air and see how that feels. And then gradually, slowly ease that down. And maybe take 3 breaths. So take a breath through the nose and a breath through the out breath through the mouth. Take your last breath. I'm doing 3 breaths. And then wherever you've got your cushions with you or not, reach your hands, fingers spread brightly, and just reach them through the earth. And again, if you need that extra support, your head doesn't touch the floor, it's not a problem. And then activate your hands through kind of like a tent peg. Imagine you've got tent pegs at the end of your hands, at the end, and then just activate that. If your head wants to go to the floor, it starts to ease into this position. Or if it feels uncomfortable, start again. Come out and start again. We're doing 3 breaths, following on from our mindfulness breathing here. And the option is to activate the arms for the whole 3 breaths, or if you feel like you're really quite low energy and you just want to rest there, do the rest. Here we go. Inhaling. Letting the pelvic floor go. And then just bringing those hands down towards your head. If you're on a cushion or you're on your fists, just make sure you feel comfortable here. Bring your hands and see if you can clasp them over your head. And then down. And then pull them gently away. Look towards the earth. Rise up onto your knees. And then we'll just practice some on all fours positions here. So I want you to bring your knees super, super close. I want you to bring your hands super, super close. So you're kind of making a W with your hands. And just practice rolling your shoulders. See how that feels. Take your hands a little bit further away, so that encourages you to lengthen the spine. Be able to feel that. Walk them back towards you and feel how it's kind of shrinking your spine as you walk to your knees with your hands. Walk your hands further away. You can do all of this on fists. If your wrists don't really like this position, roll your shoulders. Lift the chest. Knees are together, hands are together. Push gently through the spine. And then flex that spine, raising the tailbone, raising the neck and head, sinking into the back. One more time. Follow a pattern that involves the breath. And I'm not locking out at my elbows. Fabulous. And we're going to do that with a middle width of the knee. So around about where you feel your hips are, and the same for your hands. Roll the shoulders. Maybe have a wiggle with the hips. And then maybe walk around the body. See how that feels for you today. Say hello to your feet. Notice where you feel stretched and notice where you feel strong. Roll those shoulders back down and around again. So these are now more in the shape of our body. We're going to walk our knees towards our hands. Sit back down, reach up. Reach down. One more time, reaching up. Reach down. Bring your hands to the front, open and close. Do that one more time. Lengthen through the spine here. Down to the side, reach over to the top. And just notice how you're breathing now. Notice where you feel this is good. Or where it feels like you're doing a little bit too much and you want to make your movements shorter than mine. You feel like you've got high energy. Taking more. Just work ourselves back down onto all fours. And we'll do And then here, because it's kind of sunken down there with the others. And then we'll go up again through the palms. Relax your neck. And one more time. Sense of ease. And then this time what we're going to do is sit back, reach our arms forward one more time, and then bottom off our heels and rest the head where it wants to sit. So we're going to do our 3 breaths in this position. So if again you feel that you need that under your head, we're going to keep our bottom up in the air and see where the stretch feels good for you here. If it doesn't feel quite right, feels a bit uncomfortable, you're feeling a bit flustered here, just come back down into the most comfortable version, into child. 3 breaths. You're feeling energetic, peg your fingers for the last breath. And then slide your way back down. My legs are open wide again here, and I'm resting my head on my cushion. Noticing if I feel any warmer, if I feel any looser, if I feel any stiffness. And then just sitting up slowly, roll those shoulders. Hopefully you're beginning to feel a little bit more heat through the body. Rolling those shoulders, 2 more. Fabulous. So back onto all fours. I'm going to take one leg behind us. So just have a little bit of movement here. If your knees are starting to feel a bit irritated, you can always roll the mat or roll a blanket or move a cushion if you've got a longer pillow, for example, under your knees. A mat rolled up tends to work quite well because you can just roll it out quickly in between movements. So seeing how you feel here, what I want you to do is just take one leg back. So here, and again, depending on how you are with your wrists, notice where you feel some goodness in this move. If you feel like you're on the wrist too much, come back onto your fist and just press down this back of the leg until you feel a sense of stretching. We're going to hold it there. We're going to take 3 breaths, just lifting the chest. Again, come to where you feel comfortable. Should be an enjoyable movement. Stretching to release tension. Rising through that chest. And then coming back down into a child's pose to rest. Reach forward again, peg those arms. Let's take 1 breath here, breathing in. Bring those hands back to close to the knees, underneath your chest, towards your head space, push up. And then we're coming back up again. So here, walk yourself forward, have a fidget, so adjust your knee position. Chest is facing forward, lifting forward. This is the other leg pointing out behind me and it's flexing to the floor. So just giving yourself a little bit of movement here. So noticing that the knee straight, you're loading through the chest muscles here, so it will make you feel warmer. And then when you feel that you've got to a lovely spot of sweetness, press down, raise that chest. Follow the position and the length of your spine to suit you. Take what you need, approximately 3 breaths. Releasing tension in that body, listening to the body, being kind to the body. Doing a lot of work with baby. You can be very restless. You should be feeling that some effort involved in that. Bring yourself up onto your seated position. Just reach those arms around one more time. And back down. We're going to rock back onto our toes here to be up for standing. So here, onto the balls of your feet. So my legs are closed, so you can get a better view here. If you feel like you can open them, we're going to work here. If that feels a bit too much, bring your knees together. We're going to stand from this position. Okay, so you're going to do that with an out breath. So take the position that feels most comfortable for you. Have a play around with your balance, see if you can balance here. Don't worry if you're not quite steady yet. Should be feeling comfortable. Come up if you're not feeling comfortable already. And then decide how you want to come up. We're going to come up really slowly. So I'm on my toes. A little bit wobbly in the legs, you see? While I'm minding out from my chandelier. Stretch those arms up again. Let's do that again. as we did before. So adjust yourself so you feel that you're standing in a base of support that's really comfortable. Open and close the chest again. Drop those shoulders down from the ears. Lovely. Take the arms down by your sides and then a small side bend, just like we did on our knees. And I'm just placing my hand here to remind my body that I'm keeping a little bit of activation through the midline and through the tummy muscles. So my muscles aren't bulging anywhere here. They're not pushing through any gap there. I have a fully functioning diastasis recti, so I'm using my breath all the time and aware of when I've gone too far. How are you feeling so far? Who's watching? Give me a wave. We're standing up for a small section now. I'm going to just ragdoll. So ragdoll, adjust yourself. Doing good there on the floor. It's quite a lot of concentration, isn't it? Use these floppy spaghetti arms to give yourself a little bit of a massage. And then we'll have a little bit of a drink. We're going to move into some alternating lunges. Not using any equipment today. And then we'll use some balance work, all focusing on the Pilates breath. So we'll do those two exercises and then we'll come down. Fabulous. Have a quick drink. And say yaki da. Let's put that there. Okay guys. Okay, lovely mummies. Should we have a go? Should we do our Pilates breath? You feeling good? I hope you are. I'm going to check in on my time. Let's do this. If we've got time, we'll do our squats as well with the pelvic floor. Okay, so just bring yourself into your awareness for your Pilates check-in. Place your hands if you want to, anywhere on the body. You want to really feel this. Okay, and what I'm going to do is inhale through the width of my rib cage. And what I'm not going to do is breathe in so that I push through my hand at the front of my body. All right, so try 3 breaths of just focusing on the inhalation. Sometimes it can feel good if you try and inhale to the very back of your throat or nose, and then it kind of drives it to fill up the pockets in the back of your lungs. And what I'm trying to do is not pop out your belly. So when you breathe out, when you breathe in, you're not blowing up a balloon. You're keeping yourself not braced, but just not expanding across the front. That's it. Inhale. Exhale. Blowing out the candle. Watching my shoulders rising and falling here. The natural breath. See what happens. Try the ribcage expansion. Blow out the candle. Fabulous. So you can really feel that circumference of the breath. And if you haven't got that, don't worry about it. There's many hours behind mastering the Pilates breath, but it's just useful for you to feel what's happening as you breathe. Feeling how you breathe, how it affects your system in the core system. Okay, and what we're going to do now is use our arms, and then as we exhale this time, we're going to see if we can play with a little bit of the pelvic floor. So see if you can have a conversation with your pelvic floor on the exhale as we open and close the arms. So here, we're going to inhale, and then exhale, up and inwards through the vagina. So thinking about that midsection on your pelvic floors. We'll do one more. Inhale wide. Exhale. Blowing out the candle. Fabulous. If you've got more connection for the back passage, we do our pelvic floor exercises as we go on, or if you've got more connection through to the urethra, all good. We're just learning to communicate with those areas after the birth of our baby. So I'm going to do 5 breaths with the Pilates and get you to concentrate on the section that is really connecting and working for you. So it could be squeezing your shoulder blades back together, spread brightly through the fingers, drop those shoulders, work into that back cleavage, really giving those muscles that are long and weak right now a good squeeze. Or you could work into lifting up through the pelvic floor on the out breath, blowing the candle out and feeling the deep transverse muscles coming on, or inhaling. So you pick what you want. I'm going to do 5 of these, and I'm just going to imagine I'm really focused. Well, I'm going to imagine that I'm focused on my posture and my squeezing of the back muscles, which is where I'm targeting in this exercise. So just 5 simple Pilates breaths. Here we go. Breathing in and out, and in and out, in, out, in, out. Last one. Inhale. And that last one was the one where I had the best connection because I didn't say anything there, so I had full focus. All right, so let's try it with a mini lunge. So if you like those arms, please use them if you're feeling unsteady. Hands on hips today. You're going to step forward, you're going to push back. We're not doing a 90-degree bend on your lunge, but your heel is placing down onto the floor. So you're pushing off that front foot. Have a go, just join in. Probably doing it now already, so have a push off through that heel. And just notice how your body is sinking like a plumb line and then pushing back up. And that's what we're going to work on, a little bit of pelvic floor. We're going to do 16. So if you've done a few with me now, you may be beginning to feel that you're building up a little bit of lactic acid, or that you're feeling that you're wanting to concentrate on counting. So we're doing this exercise to work on our breathing technique, working on our posture and controlling our lunge. We have to lunge every day to pick things up. Alright, so I'm going to start your 16 now. Have a fidget. Integrate the arms for those who are feeling quite coordinated. Otherwise, hands on hips as before. We're doing 16. Pilates breath. Optional. Should we go? Roll the shoulders. Have a go. So we're going alternating. 4. 5. 8 to go. Stop if you feel that you've had enough. 9. Lift back chest. 10. 11. Where is working for you? 4. 3. 2. And 1. Bring yourself back and straight away begin to swing. Excellent work. So use a bit of a yoga swing here. That's a nice, just an easy squat. Just an easy squat. Swing the arms. We're going to take our arms all the way up, back, down and round. This is for your shoulder mobility. So if that feels too much today, you're going to come here. See where your wrists and hands want to go. If this feels too much, for 4, for 3, big smiles, 2, and 1. Excellent. Let's work into our balance work. So Pilates breath optional. We're going to take our leg to the side. So this is working on your balance and working on your obliques. So we're still working on the core system, but as we breathe, we're going to take our arm and we're going to take the range down side of our body. It's going to be simultaneously with the leg lifting. So I want you to just try that now. Try it now before we get going with it so you know what's to come. And notice where your body has to adjust. The supporting leg has a micro bend in the knee. Your spine is long. Remember, you have a halo on your head. You're super tall. You're standing as tall as you can, but you're not popping your ribcage out. You're standing with really good posture, but you're in that length of your spine. So this leg is coming out to the side. So complete beginners, that will probably be enough. We'll do 12 on each leg, and then those who want to do a little bit more, using your steady support, maybe the mantelpiece, something that's fixed, not moving. You might be using your arm at the same time. For those who have progressed on, feeling quite strong and energetic today, you're going to take your arm as high as you can, as tall as you can. You might have that one out for balance and no support, and then you'll take your foot off the floor. And if you're using the Pilates breath, wonderful. If you're not, just move freely. Stop when you've had enough and try to keep your foot from turning around. So try and keep your foot turning round. Try not to open at the hip. See how I've rotated into the hip socket? Try and keep it to the side. It's not extra points. There's no extra points for lifting your leg as high as you can. Only adduction. There's no extra points, okay? Feeling good? You warmer? Should we go? Set your position up. Feel good in your space. Take the support that you need. I'm going to continue with 12 repetitions. Stop when you've had enough and then join in for the remaining section of reps. All right? I'm going to start here, under my chandelier. I'm going to put my hand here. I'm going to inhale to prepare. Go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Micro bend on the other knee. 6. Blow the candle. 8. 4 more if you can, or stop. Touch the floor in between each rep. Give yourself a bit of break. Lovely. Last one. Let's go back to that squat this time. Squat, up onto your toes. Squat, toes. Squat, push back with the arms into the heels and on the toes. 8. Toes feeling uncomfortable, calves not really into this, not really your jam, not doing it. Stay with just the squat for 4, 3, 2, flowing arms, 1, and recover. Big breath, recovery. Use that oxygen to recenter. Okay, you're working out now. This leg, do you want to try it? Micro bend on the opposite knee. Do you want to try and point and flex that? See how it's feeling. Under tension, your pelvic muscles are under tension as you take your legs wide. So whether you take your legs into a lunge or whether you take them wide, your pelvic floor is becoming under tension. So it will be working on those muscles as well. Okay, so just be aware of that. All right, so try your position. Are you supported or are you feeling steady? Micro bend on the knee, lift the chest. Where's the arm? Does it want to come down? Does the foot want to lift? What does it want to do today? Okay, we're doing 12. Are you ready? 1. Inhale. 2. Inhale. 3. 4. Reach higher if you're feeling more energetic. 5. Keep that foot facing forward. 6. That's halfway. 7. Blow the candle out. 4 more if you want to. Squat. Squat to calf raise. This is your recovery. This is active recovery, part of your workout. So I want you to come back onto your heels. It's not a high intensity session. It's about controlling your movement, becoming very focused on how you're feeling and giving you a bit of a boost, an energetic boost after feeling sluggish, possibly dehydrated and definitely tired. So we're trying to boost you here with our sessions of Babi Active. 4 more, calf raise or not. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Ragdoll. How are you feeling with those exercises? I'm feeling good with those. I'm feeling quite warm. Just going to check my time. It looks like we're doing really good with our timing. So I'm going to do a second set with you. I'm going to go straight onto this exercise. So this is my Pilates standing work for your obliques. You should be able to feel it on the side of your body there. It's also concentrating on your balance, and of course that requires a lot of leg strength. So it's ticking lots of different boxes, using the Pilates focus, of course, for your concentration and your mindful movement. Try to incorporate the breath, even if you're not doing the full Pilates breath. Try and keep a rhythm of breath so that you're not tensing up anywhere else in the body. Then in between that set, we'll do some squats as an option for you with your calf raises, and then we'll go to the other side. So have a go with your 12, make sure you're happy with your space. Roll the shoulders, find a position that gives you the support that you need. And then I'm going to start with my arm to the top. Inhale to prepare. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hand is going behind the leg. Lift the chest. Flow with this movement halfway. Steady and controlled. 4 to go or stop. Keep that foot facing forward. For 3, lift the chest. 2 and 1. Squat to the toes. We're doing 12. Stop when you've had enough. Go wide if it feels more comfortable. Or stay where you are. Lots of control here. 6. Stop when you've had enough. 3 more. Push your triceps back and feel those working for you. Lift the chest. Let's do 2 more. Let's do 2 more. Now you've gone over. Let's do 2 more. Standing tall, roll the shoulders. Ease out any tension. Catch your breath. Notice how you're feeling. Do you feel on a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being like you've run a marathon, or 1 just being like you've just opened your eyes, you've been dozing on the sofa? Where do you feel on the scale of 1 to 10? Are you feeling that you're working out, or are you feeling that it's not enough? So just monitor how you're feeling. And these sessions will give you that skill so that when you go back into your training in the community, you've got some real accountability for the level of fitness that you're working with. It's one of the aims of these sessions. One of the aims of these sessions for me is to give mums a reintroduction of movement, making sure that you're the best judge of your fitness and your health, and encouraging knowledge and confidence. Yes, those are my aims for you guys. Other side, have a little break there, didn't you? So you micro bend that knee, take your hand to supportive position, lift through the chest, drop the shoulders down. Take an in-breath, in, out, 12, 11. You're between 2 pieces of glass. You can't tip forward and you can't tip back. Exhale. Micro bend on the opposite leg, lift the chest. 6 to go. Keep that foot facing forward. Mine's trying really hard to rotate. 5. Lengthen, squeeze there. 2. Blow that candle out if you can. Let's do 3. May have done 1 extra. And let's come into your squats. Let's do 8. Up onto your toes if it feels good. Go wider if you like it. Now I'm going to ask you to do pelvic floor. Zip up back to front as you've been practicing, or just engage something along the pelvic floor. Let's do 3. Release, engage. Release, let go. Activate the pelvic floor. Last one. Fabulous. Bring yourself here and ragdoll. You have done excellent work so far. I've ticked my boxes. I'm just going to show you, we've just done the 3 exercises. A lunge with this chest opener. We've done this exercise for your obliques, for your alignment and your balance work, so moving through ranges of movements to really get you going, lengthen the spine, and then we've done a few squats. So I want to show you an imaginary buggy push with your lunge. So lunge walk with the buggy. I popped a video in the support group, so you can lunge, and then you've got the buggy, you're pushing forward. So this time you'd lunge, and then you'd step together. And I'm trying to get you to encourage this stepping together in the early stages of your recovery so that you can focus back on how you is feeling your posture on that position. So come down, step together, stop, push, step together. Perfect. Walking lunge, really useful with the buggy. I hope that helps. I'm going to have a very quick drink and then I'm going to do a Pilates roll down, take you down to the floor. It's 11 o'clock, so we're doing great. We're doing a couple of sets that should make you feel really good this morning. In case you're wondering, there's a small fly in my vitamin C water. This is my vitamin C water. It's still in there. Extra protein in my vitamin C water. So I'm going to get you to do now is roll down. We'll come down to the floor and we'll enjoy some more stretching. All right. Of course, you could repeat all of that again. Press pause and repeat all of that again and make it a longer workout, doing all of those activities again. All right. So let's do our Pilates roll down. We've been working into a hover. So I'm going to take you down, stretch up. I'm going to do 4 roll downs with the bend knee, chin to chest, ragdoll arms. And I'm not using the Pilates breath, but I'm imagining like I'm a puppet being brought to life. So really kind of loose on the arms. I'm going to open that up and bring myself into slight extension. Feel very graceful here as you open the chest and then tuck your chin in. So we're doing this 4 times. Every time, slowly peeling that spine away from an imaginary wall. Arms are heavy, like spaghetti here. Let the neck go, and then bring yourself up. And just notice if you can go super slow, you can scan your body to find out where exactly, if you had a little fluorescent marker and you had a picture of you, you could dot along the line of your spine where you're feeling this tension rise and fall. This is my 3rd one now, so I'm scanning my body to see where that opening sensation is, of the vertebra opening behind. And mine is definitely towards the mid-back, so thoracic spine, lower, but more towards the mid-thoracic spine. And now at the base of my spine towards my neck. Reaching up. Last time, I'm going to make my feet a bit wider. And this time I'm going to come all the way down to the floor and I'm going to hover. So bend that knee generously. This is not a test of your flexibility. This is releasing tension. Witnessing the flow of your breath here. If it feels good, sway side to side. It's going to give you a stretch in the back of the legs if that feels good. If not, come straight down. Linger there if it feels good. If not, come straight down onto your all fours again. Hands underneath the chest. Brightly spread the fingers. Roll the shoulders. You're back in here with the length of your spine. Feeling that you have control of your back. Tuck your toes under and then lift your knees off the floor to about 2.5 centimetres. A couple of mobile phones. Stick them, imagine it sliding under your knee. Roll your shoulders. We'll do 5 seconds. So we'll do 1, come down. 1, 2, come down. 1, 2, 3, come down. 1, 2, 3, 4, come down, etc. So we're going to use that. See if you can incorporate a good full breath with that exercise. So here we go. Take a breath. Exhale, lift. 1. Keep the arms really steady, not locking out, and try not to move them at all, or the position of your chest or back. Here we go. Breathe in. Breathe out. 1, 2. And down. Hardly any movement at all in the rest of your body. Here we go. Breathe in. Maybe you can be on your fist if you need to. Go. 1, 2, 3. Are you smiling? Roll those shoulders, lift that chest. Are ready for 4 or take a break into child's pose if you've had enough. Go. 1, 2, 3, 4. And take it down. And again, smiling. Rise through your spine here. Lift the chest. Inhale. Exhale. 5 seconds. Go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And take that down. Into your child's pose, your favourite version, please. You feel like you need to just rotate those wrists a little bit, take yourself a little breather, have a fidget. We're going to come into a lunge forward. So this is going to need a little bit of balance. So if you've got some cushions handy, they'll give you a little bit of height. You can also use like a small stool or a small table or something that you've got that's of a reasonable height. I'm going to change the music over because we're ending the session. I'm going to show you that you can use books, toys. Got a couple of DVDs here, so I might use those. So you're still on the floor, having a fidget. We'll do a little bit more stretching on the floor. So slowing down, the end of your session. You're on the floor, you've been into child's pose, you've had a little fidget. Now you're going to come back up onto all fours, and then what I'm going to do is take one leg forward. So walk yourself up. See how you are with your knees. This is where you check in with your knees. If you need to roll your mat under your knee, you might find that really useful, again, if you've got sore knees. I'd advise you do that. For me, my knees are okay today, they're not feeling too grumbly. So what I'm going to do is use a bit of support here, so that's quite useful, or your pillows, and then take your leg forward. So these are just supporting me here. So this foot's come forward. If you feel unsteady here, keep your toes kind of like on the stabiliser, so their toes are flexed. If you feel quite centred and quite steady, take your foot off. That's going to give you more of a core stability challenge with the centre of your body. So I'm here. I don't need these, but if you do, you might want to keep them. See how you feel here. I don't need them, so I'm going to come straight down to here. I want you to take the most comfortable option. So you can take them here from the top. See where you feel with your trunk support here, what's working for you, and then come out of this if it's uncomfortable. So come down if you need to, lift the chest. 3 breaths are here, or you can tempade your fingers or put your hands onto a fist. Lift the chest. Neck is long. If it feels too uncomfortable, come up or just stay up for 3 breaths. You might just have your hands on your waist. I'm holding onto these for you. 3 breaths. Fabulous. So coming to a position that gives you ease. Take yourself up. You've steadied yourself now. Come out of this if it feels uncomfortable. Otherwise, we're coming up. This foot's flat on the floor. Arms are coming down. Take a breath in. Rise through the chest here. Take this foot behind you and see if you can angle the ankle up towards the sky. Release tension in the toes and the body. Open the chest. Side and then slightly lateral flex to the side. Again, if you feel like you need to check your midline, it's a good check here, see if there's any bulging. We'll do that again on the other side. I hope you like this music. It's by Surge UK Music. Music man from Conway. And then for those who can, come straight back down into child's pose to take a break from the knee. Those who want to, or come back and stretch that leg out. We're going to hold for 3, 2, 1, and down. Put that back down on the floor. If you're still with me, putting that hand on the floor or using support where you need to, you're going to rotate your hand up to the side. And we're going to come down. We're going to flow that down, so underneath my leg, and then out to the side. You may get to here. Just take it where you need to. Got support of my DVD here. Hand is on the floor. Last time, if you're staying in child's pose, we're joining you now. So I'm going to take that leg back down, stick it behind me, and then this time I'm going to close my legs in child's pose if it feels comfortable for you, or stay with the wide leg version. So here I'm going to make 2 potatoes. If you're breastfeeding or you're heavy set on top like myself, just give yourself enough space so that you can breathe. I'm going to do the whole thing on the other side. Let your pelvic floor go here. Notice if you're holding any tension in your body. Becoming an expert, scanning your body from the top of your head, your forehead, your eyebrows, down your face, your ears and your neck. Begin to scan
scan down your body and look for any tension that's holding, and adjust yourself so that it feels easier somehow. And your back. Checking in with your hips, your knees and your feet. And then rising up in your own time. So coming up again, last time, tuck that mat under. If you're starting to feel a little bit uncomfortable on your knees. So tuck the mat under your knee. Like that. Take your foot forward. Grab onto your support. Books. However, and just see if you can stay in this position. So these legs are pretty much a right angle, aren't they? Tuck the toe under if you need that extra support. And then lift the chest. So this is about opening the chest and working into the strength of the back muscles. This is a very intense posture position, and you're spread quite widely at the hip. So if you've had any pain during pregnancy in your hips, you can come out of this and come into a gentle child's pose again, or you may just feel better balancing from this position. You might not even need support. This is deeper because of the spine flexion. Here we've done our 3 breaths. We're feeling good, we're feeling lengthened, our foot is flat on the floor. We feel that we can rise up, so letting your support go if you're feeling confident. And we'll do some breathing here with our arms. So look for where you feel strong here and steady. Stretching up, extending through the spine. A sense of opening here. And a sense of wonder, how kind you can be to your body here. How amazing your body has been to birth your baby, and how amazing it is that you can feel like this after the birth of your baby. Graceful, elegant, perhaps a bit sweaty, certainly empowered with the magic that is being mum. So kindness to the body at all times, and taking what you need, only what you need, nothing more. We're almost done for today. I'm going to do this on the other side. I'm challenging my balance here, so this is really good for your core muscles. And this is really opening up those obliques and that space in your back, and space between your ribs and your hips, stretching out the front body. Should be feeling fantastic. Take your body down again if it feels good, but please rest into child's pose in your favourite now, or lie flat on your tummy. Take a complete rest. We'll be coming to shortly. And then if those who want to can come here, you can do your 3 breaths again. If you need to, you can lie your hand on the support and then rotate. So I'm going to take this side, I'm going to rotate with this hand. And just feel that movement. So just feel what feels good for you. So I'm going under that leg. Really working with that tender loving care. TLC is always used in our mindful movement. And then from here we're going to come back to join you onto a child's pose, and then straight down onto our tummies. So adjust your space, slide yourself forward onto your tummies, lying down flat. If you feel uncomfortable in your chest, you may just stay here for your cobra before pushing back up into one downwards facing dog and then walking ourselves back up. So those who want to take a short rest on your breast there. And then tuck those toes under, spread your fingers brightly, hands by the chest, push up through your chest, rock back onto your toes, and then look between the palms of the hands, push back between your feet, downwards facing dog. Stretch those legs out with a little walk, walking the dog, and then gradually look in between the hands, walk with the bent knee all the way down, and then just let your hands do that spaghetti again. See what that feels like. Rolling up, bending the knees generously here, spaghetti arms, lengthen through the spine. I'm going to take my arms into a big circle behind me. Finishing off. I'm going to join you facing forward, take my legs a little bit wider, and ragdoll to finish. I've enjoyed doing a little bit of stretching with you this morning. I feel like I've done some work. I'm now ready to do my low impact body conditioning
and my active family well-being this afternoon. If you have any questions about anything we've done, let me know. I'm going to grab my chair and a drink, and then I'm going to talk to you for a couple of minutes just about stress eating. So grab yourselves a pew, come back to this chat on replay if you have to go. I'm going to get my phone. My notes. And I'll finish off here. So, mindful eating. So I have some notes on that which I think you'd appreciate. So I'm going to look for those, grab those out, and then put those in screenshot here into the comments on this session. And stress eating. So I just wanted to do a quick 2 minutes on that. During the pregnancy, it's very, very common for diets to be more indulgent. It's a hugely popular thing to do pre-COVID, cakes and coffee mornings and more kind of pampery type food, often low nutrition, and that combined with a low nutrition diet anyway just has the effect that we don't need and we don't want. So often after having a baby, it becomes quite typical for mums to either continue eating the way they were eating, which was if you've taken that route of having more indulgence during your pregnancy, you'll continue down that way because you've created a habit. If you've been doing it for more than 21 days or 4 weeks, that's really all it needs. That's really all you need to create a habit. You've probably stayed in that zone, and then you've got a bit of a long kind of crawl up and out of that, haven't you? Because your blood sugars are disrupted. Obviously, your sleeping is disrupted, and mentally there's a lot more load. So there is more responsibility of managing the house, plus looking after a baby, etc. Even with or without help from family, it's still an all hands on deck job, isn't it? So having a think about why we're eating is a really good cue for you moving forward. So it's not to get stressed about, it's just to notice why we are eating. Are we eating because it's a certain time of day, or are we eating because it's a certain Netflix episode that we watch that we eat with? And work out where parts of your day are coming into a part of the day when you would eat and what you're eating. So you're just aware, and notice what kind of quality of the foods they are. It's as simple as that. So when you have an option to eat some veggies or something that's more nutritious and some protein, for example, are you going to eat that, or are you going to go for the biscuits because they go with a cup of coffee or they go with a panad? It's this kind of association with what you're eating which often adds in the opposite of value. So have a think about that. For me as a mum, I can tell you from my own experience that on the birth of my second child, the birth of my first child, I didn't really have any concerns with the eating. There didn't seem to be a concern. But with the birth of my second child, and I was on my own at that time, then I had all of a sudden responsibility of school runs, and then my little one, and working. After the 9 months, I went back to work for 2 days, and it was then that I realised I was quite living on my tea in the morning, and then I wasn't eating because I was running on adrenaline. So it was adrenaline to school run, and then it was adrenaline until lunchtime, or until after I'd fed her lunch or got her to where she needed to be, and then I'd eat. So there was a very long period of kind of effectively fasting from going to bed really early with them, after having a low calorie day and a low nutrition in terms of quality of food day, and then having tea in the morning with honey and milk, and then that would fuel me for another maybe 8 hours or something up early with the baby, and that created a high blood pressure for me, because my blood pressure is a low norm. So my advice to you is to look at you have a bit of an opportunity here, and have some time to think about how you can assist yourself in this stage. And this first year of baby is
stage when you require so much nourishment, and of course your baby requires so much nourishment. So you might as well join into the nourishment goodness that baby is getting and give yourself that simultaneously, because this is the time when you will make and if all you're doing is sleeping and cooking a pot of stew or soup or to recipe that you frequently have, and those become your regulars, and they change seasonally, of course. If they become enough for you that you're getting some good home cooked food, less processed food, and not the fillers which have the wrong types of ingredients in them and the combination of ingredients in them which don't assist you in healing your body at this time, it's just a good opportunity for you to come back to some basics. Basic, good, simple, lean protein, and you can still eat lots of vegetable protein if you're vegetarian, and there's still so many options of just eating just basic food, and I say basic food meaning real food from the earth, less processed. I hope that's helpful, and of course top up on the hydration. Watch when you're eating if you're stressed. If I'm stressed at the end of the day and I've not had enough calories, then I'll get out the tin of crackers and I'll eat loads of crackers. That's my kind of stress eating. Or I might have a hot chocolate with marshmallows in it. That's like my stress eating go-to. So have a think and notice what your stress eating is through the week, and you might be surprised to find that you've got a little habit there, and it's long term. It's more of a thing that you don't necessarily need, but why are you stressed? Finding that first and foremost and working on solving that as a problem, and that will help you. We can talk about sleep and rest as we move on. That's one of the talks that we'll do, and I think I've talked enough for now, so I'm going to check in the time. I haven't got any comments. I've enjoyed teaching this morning. It's now 11:25, and I am done for today. Yaki da. I will see you on Friday, 10:30. Pop some notes in the comments for you. Have a great rest of the day, and thank you for watching.